at it now. Okay, so as a general guide, 6 to 8 times, oiling her up, getting a feel for what's going on. And again, I'm taking it nice and slow with her. If it's quite vibrant, if I was to do more of this, it's more of an upbeat, okay, type of massage. But with her, I really feel with the emotion, also with the physical and mental stress, I want to give her a nice, soothing, personal, trusting experience. So for me, I just want to take that down. Okay. And these long moves can feel very nice in the beginning. So if you need to do a bit more than 6 to 8 times, that's fine, but generally 6 to 8 times. Okay?
How will you know maybe if you need to do more?
Look for the reaction with the clients. You see these goosebumps, I would carry on. I'd just let her soothe into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also with her, it's more of a mental and emotional treatment. The physical will respond as well. I would work in a completely different way with Lee and Tina because it's much more of a physical treatment. Okay, now we want to warm up the neck. So the techniques we have on the neck is we can be using loose knuckles. So this looks like this. Okay, so we manipulate the knuckles and we're pushing down at the same time. Okay. We can also transition to a different technique, and I'm going to move around this way because I prefer to use my right hand, and we can use a single-handed picking up. So we start here at the base, come round here so you can see me. At the base of the cervical spine, I'm scooping down and up to the hairline, taking the pressure off, repositioning and scooping back up again. Now I can do a big scoop where, look at my fingers, they come all the way out and I'm scooping right up to the head. Or I can do smaller scoops. So you see the way that I'm targeting different areas of the neck. She's very lumpy here. So when I was doing my dry work, I only did it coming up the C-spine and here, but I'm actually feeling around now the neck muscles, and you can feel lots of lumps here. Okay, you can feel this in just a second. So as this starts to release, if you want to create a deeper experience, which for her I certainly would, you then combine it with your other hand, and this is called double-handed picking up. So this is what we use to warm up the neck. Okay, so we have loose knuckles, we have single-handed picking up, and we have double-handed picking up. And you can combine all of these. So as it loosens, I'm coming back, and again, I'm going to use now back in with my loose knuckles. So as you develop your sense, again, of awareness of what the client needs, you can do it once, you can do it twice, you can use one technique, you can use all three techniques, and you can keep working with it for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Why would you work with a client for 45 seconds and not 10 seconds? Any ideas?
You still feel the tightness?
If it's tight, yeah. If you can feel the muscle and you go, okay, it's beginning to loosen, it's beginning to soften, or you go, whoa, feel all those lumps there, which are also called knots and trigger points. You want to work with that, keep working with it, keep moving the muscle tissue. If it's nice and loose, you wouldn't spend 45 seconds on it. You do a bit of loose knuckles, okay, that's great. She's got problems in her shoulders, go straight to the shoulders, okay? Again, as you get more experience throughout the week, you're going to be working on lots of different bodies. You'll get a better sense, okay, of how long to work on it. Right, so we've worked with the neck. We're now going to transition to the shoulders. So how we can transition to the shoulders is we're on loose knuckles here. We can now move into loose fist. So again, we're still working with the preparation of the full back, and these shoulders are absolutely brick hard. So when the shoulders are brick hard like that, also she's quite small and my hands are quite big. So this kind of feels okay, but it doesn't feel like the right technique. So what I'm going to do is not spend too much time here with loose fists. I'm going to transition now into digital thumb stripping. So you can strip here. You saw this in your dry work, it's pretty similar. We do exactly the same but with oil. And we're just stripping here over the top traps, moving up and down until until we come to levator scapulae rhomboid area. Now, as you move here into the midsection, levator scapulae rhomboid area, mid-tract, you can then come into thumb circles, and that can feel super nice. Doesn't that feel nice? Yeah. So again, she's covered in goosebumps. The goosebumps is the client talking to you, where they're going, oh, that feels really good. So keep doing it. Now she's all crunchy here. Because I'm working with oil, I can really feel the amount of knots, trigger points that she has. So you can work here till you come to the bottom of the arms, and you can also reverse it and come back up. So you're working up and down, up and down. I'm not going to do too much of this because I want you to be able to feel the knots, okay? So we have loose knuckles. If it doesn't feel right, transition here into thumb stripping. You can also use your thumb circles.
Because the thumb stripping breaks down the knots faster than the loose knuckles.
Yes, so that's a great question. Well done, right? When you're working with a bigger area, you want a bigger tool. So your hands are your tools, right? So we have our flat hands for effleurage, we have our fists, you also have your thumbs, and I call this the power finger, this one as well. Your power finger, I use a lot of the power finger, I'll show you more about that as well. So you've got different sizes of tools. If you've got lots of tiny little knots in there, you can't get it with your fist, so you need a smaller tool to work with that, and you keep working with it until it softens. The pressure from your thumb, the repetition of the action softens the muscle tissue and brings it into a state of looseness. Okay, so we have finger circles here, and then you can move down with your effleurage coming back. You can also work with thumbs and loose fist coming down the spine as well, depending what you need. Okay, so if you're working with loose fists, your fist movement, so it's not like this, right? It's here, so you're pushing out the way, okay? When you're coming down the spine, I call this, I've got the steamroller. You'll see me doing steamrollering, so imagine a big steamroller in a road, you know the way they make it really smooth? If you've done a lot of detailed work there with your thumbs, and now you want to steamroller it, that's a little bit deeper than using the flat of your hand. The flat of your hand is softer. As you move past the arm, we can then, because you're working on a larger space, you then turn the steamroller around and then you effleurage off, okay? Again, if you want to be more specific, and I do a lot of this when I'm working to release the spine, you can come down with your thumbs on either side of the spine, because the muscle tissue connects here into the spine, so a lot of the connective tissue in here can be really tight, and at that point you want to use thumbs. And effleuraging off. Okay, great. Right, let's have a quick recap, and now you're going to do this. 6 to 8 times effleurage. Loose knuckles. Single-handed picking up. Double-handed picking up. If you need to do more work, come back in with your loose knuckles. Loose knuckles can transition into, what's this called? Loose fist. Right, this is loose fist. Okay, so you can loose fist here. We can also as well then, if we want to get more specific, come into thumb stripping. Thumb stripping then comes into, what's this? Thumb circles. And what section am I on here on the arms?
Upper chaps.
Top, middle or bottom?
Top.
This is mid. Midsection, right? Because here you can use your stripping, but you can also use your circles here, okay? And you work up and down doing your circles, okay? We can, what's this called, Kyla? Steamroller.
Steamroller.
Yeah, if you want to smooth it out, you can steamroller. And then remember to flatten it down as you come to the bigger area. If you want to be more specific, you can use thumbs. If it's nice and gentle, if it's in a good state of looseness, then you can just use your fingers.
And that's the effleurage.
Yes. Okay, so that is an example of how to treat the back as a whole before we go into section 1. Okay,